Hello and welcome to Dwarf Fortress Let's Play with me, Vid, or Vidargavia. Well, Dwarf Fortress, I've started a playthrough just when the Steam release came out, and I sort of lost heart with it, but I've been playing quite a lot recently, and we're going to try and... I know people say you can play Dwarf Fortress in any way you want and things like that, and that's true, but you can also optimize your fort. So we're going to try and build a optimized fort. I want to show you my active save here first. And we'll see what that is like. Then we'll create a new world and start over. Guard armor is the fortress. Okay, so here's the current fort. Guard armor. This is the outside. There's nothing up top here. There's just a roof over this part. And yeah, this is one area of improvement that we need to make. All these skeletons, we need to figure out some other way to get rid of them. But what I really enjoy about this sort of setup is this is sort of the outer defense. We have a bridge here that we can just lock down the entire fort with from above. But when baddies come running in, we have exits. You can have however many exits you want, but we have them here and around that place. When baddies come, I close that bridge and these two, and then the baddies have to walk through here. And there's traps and things, and then I usually meet them here. Or if there's too many, I just close this as well and wait it out. So there's not really too much to improve here, functionally, except for the refuse, or the corpse pile. Other than that, out here I have a big zone for picking fruits and berries. It really adds to the drinkability of the game, right? So, that's cool. So then this slope here goes down under, and this is where we have our animal pen. And this only works if you've reached the caverns. Before that, you have to figure out some other way to deal with the animals. But I'm thinking pigs and fowl is the best thing to bring because they don't need grass. They're not grazing. The reason this is a slope, by the way, is because I want the trade wagons, to be able to drive in here. And in fact, there are some traders here now. That's not a trader, that's a mule. That's the human traders. They didn't have anything sensible this year. But yeah, so the idea here of this entry level here is that we have the trade and we have trade goods here. So things that we want to trade, we try and get brought up here during the year so that when the traders come, it's quick and easy to sort that out. And this is the first inner bridge here. So assuming that I fail to close this bridge out here, then we can lock the fort down, although we will sacrifice any traders in the process. And we can also lock this bridge here, and that means that any invaders have to go all the way around here in order to get into the fort, because the descent is over here. So that's fairly basic. There's two garrisons here practicing, so that if enemies do come up here this way, it's easy for them to just step out and deal with them if they can. This is somebody's office. I think the manager's office or something. Captain of the guard, and yeah, it's the first officers that we need. So it's the manager and bookkeeper. There's a chair missing here though. Yeah, I sort of like these door constructions with two doors and a sort of a beam in the middle. So I think we're going to continue with that. And then, anyway, this is the sort of third line of defense, this bridge. we shut this off, we still have access to. Then we've sort of sacrificed our military, maybe, but the fort is safe. The stair here goes up to the animal pens. So the animal pens don't have access to the outside anymore. They used to. See, I built walls here and things. So when I started out, I built these from here. But then once I had access from below, I closed this up. So there we go. This stair is pretty good. I like the 3x3 stair with a beam in the middle because you can put some nice engravings on this beam. But we can go for other stairs. Just one level below here is the storage area for finished goods and some stone storage as well. And below that is the big old crafting area. And this is an area that we need to work more on, I would say. I like this sort of central bit here with all the stone bits here and all the wood bits here. This is so the different parts here I think are fairly good. And the general idea is that whenever you have a workshop, so here we have a soap maker's workshop. So around that we have fat and oils stored, which is what the soap maker uses. Yeah. And if we look around the metalsmith's fort, we have bars and bars, and we have so many bars in this fort. It turned out that I had access to steel production, and then I've started buying, like from traders and things, other bars. But it's mainly iron and steel here in this fort. So this is sort of the, if we ignore this part here, this is sort of the crafting area with leatherworks, tanners, crafts dwarf, siege workshop, and then here's the clothing production line, which goes farmer's workshop, loom, dyer, and clothier. And up here is the metal works. So we start here with wood furnace, smelters, forges, and then glass furnace and ashery and soap makers. I don't have a kiln here, which is a bit of an oversight. This area here is all about really food production and the sort of food and clothing, I would say, and the sort of spill from that. So here's our main farm. It's very big, and this down here is the pigtail zone, and this is for pigtail only, and that goes straight into this here line of more close working. Okay. However, this up here is the brewing things. Yeah, it goes into the still here. Eggs here are collected as well. Here, I believe, right? Yeah. And so they can be used in the kitchen. Oh, this is the kitchen, not the still. Yeah, so you see brewing is not part of this, which I think is an oversight again. That needs to be fixed. Anyway, produce from the butcher shop goes into meat and bones, and the bones get sorted out by the crafts dwarf here, and they go into leather, which is sorted out by the tanners. So that's the general sort of idea with all this. Also on this floor is all the gathering halls. So there's guilds in these sections here. There's a tavern here. There's temple here. Library. More temples up here. Goes on for quite a while. Ignore this. That's extra space for training dwarves that needs training. That they have a need for training. So that's that. And here's our hospital. And so what I think about this level is there's too much stuff on this level. I want to break this up, of course, into a crafting area and a civic area, if you will. Down one level, we have the first of 2 bedroom levels. And I think, actually, I want this on 1 level later on. But yeah, it's all fairly optimized. It's something I've found on the Dwarf Fortress wiki, like a layout that I think is cool. So this is one section here, and there's stairs down all over the place here, so there's no traffic problems. And then there's these 4 by 4 modules, but these are only half in the middle, and in the middle there's a dining hall, and that's just repeated up here. Alright, and then also on the second level, exactly the same. And I think you can actually make the bedroom area less vast, if you will. Yeah, have a little present down here. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the first level as well. Here's the main drink storage and the main prepared food storage. And then that sort of feeds out to all the other places in the fort that we want them in. Yeah, here's the barons. Well, actually, it's now a Dutch. The Dutch lives here. The queen has moved in and lives here, and her liaison lives here. So these sort of nobles' bedrooms are just off of the main thing here, and I think maybe they should be part of the civic area, so the temples and the guild halls more than the living area in the future. Alright, and we have a well. I want to expand heavily on the wellage. So this well feeds the hospital, and it's the only well in the entire fort. And I want to have more wells, to summarize. That's what I want in the new fort. Okay, going down further, I think we're really done with the main bulk of it. But there are some things to say that are good. This is a barracks for... I actually had a lot of human monster hunters, and I imported them, and after a while they started asking to become citizens, and I said, yep, you're in the Foreign Legion now. So there's a troop of humans here. And the point of having a barracks, of course, low in the fort, so beneath the main fort, is that they can deal with threats from below. So if we go down, you can see that it takes a fair bit of digging, actually, to, you know, sort out a fort. But if we go down and down to here, this is where the tomb level is. This is the first cavern layer, tomb level. This is the queen's tomb, and then regular folk get buried here. This is the Duchess tomb. I like this idea of having a defensive corridor. I think this is a bit long though, and I would like to, I think, mirror the idea that we have bridges here that we can close and open. So it needs to be a little bit more spacious, not just one line like this, but it could be a little bit shorter. Because I want to, you know, use the cavern layer. So I've only used this one in this playthrough. And you can see that because if we go down here, and this first level is massive, by the way, in this map. We continue down. I'm not even sure I've found the second cavern layer. It might have been missed. I think I looked for it here. Because if we come down here, I think it's the third cavern layer already. Oh no, this is the second cavern layer. So it's mostly water filled. I haven't used it. And then here's the third cavern layer where there's magma, which is nice. And I haven't used that either. That's a shame. There's loads of wood here that I could have absolutely used. I dug this out and made a forge area here. Lava forge area. This is pants. I don't want to have this down here in a new fort. I need to figure out how to use screw pumps and use them. This is also where I found adamantine, of course, and as you can see, we've had leakage here. And just because of frame rates, I actually fixed that by cheating, by spawning in a block of obsidian here, and that was literally just for FPS reasons. They escaped because I was a bit of an idiot, and I blocked it off here, and I had a wall here. And then I thought, well, okay, I'll just leave it like that. I had gotten quite a fair bit of adamantine anyway, and but then they just walked around here so much, it just became unattainable to keep the fort running with them. So that's why I did it. And that's also all these dead bodies here are me killing them with a command. So that's not a great battle that we fought here. It's just because I wanted to keep playing. And I did lose a pick. Apparently. Yeah. So that's what we are looking at here, at achieving. So to summarize, in the new fort, we want maybe something cooler up top, but the same functionality, but fixing the corpse issue. We want to keep the entry level much as it is, and also the animal level is fine, no problem. We want to fix this and break this level into a civic level and a crafting level. We want to make the bedroom areas smaller or more compact or something, maybe on one level. And we want to absolutely have a magma pump stack. We want to increase the amount of wells we have. We want to have a magma stack. It's a pump stack of magma things, so that we can, have the magma forges here somehow. Because and we want to sort of refine this idea of using the cavern levels. As you can see, I've had massive attacks here, and it's been no problem for me to. I just really have some traps here, and then they go through here, and I meet them with my military here, and it's been fine. It works fine, but there could be improvements to be made. So there we go. That's about that. Now let's get on with starting a new world and seeing what we come up with. The world creation, the planet of enchantment. And we're doing just 100 years of history here, but we have some roads coming here. This is dwarven settlements. There's some humans over here. We have the pole in the south. There's a volcano there. Here we have some dark pits, I want to say. There's goblins here and some poor dwarves here. By the looks of it, owned by the goblins. Here's a fields of meditating. More goblin pits in the south here. What's this? Dungeon. Yeah, and then we have the dwarves here. And that this is also goblin pits. Are there no humans around here? It's a lair. Oh, up here we have some humans. Nice. Also out here. Oh, more goblins. There's loads of goblins here. This is probably gonna be alright as far as the world is concerned. There's nothing on this little... Ah, this is a nice island. Ah, there's elves here. Ew. The elves have their own island, and then there's humans. To the south is the dwarves, and then interspersed between them are loads of goblin pits. That's fine. Let's go into fortress mode. And let's first of all choose our origin civilization. We have 4 dwarven civilizations. These ones are quite big. They seem to have a lot of forts. The superior mechanism. The granite fountain of depth. They're in the south. I missed them before, but they're also pestered by goblins over here. They also have quite a few forts. The curled rags. Just a couple here. They are like on the brink of the goblins. We could do that for sure. The blameless roof. They're like surrounding the superior mechanisms here on the in the north and south, but they seem to be road builders to a large extent. I mean, I'm drawn to this. That is for sure. But their population is very low, 290 dwarves. They've got 1300, 1700, 290, and 2300. So this is the sort of main civilization, if you will. I think we'll go for these. Yeah. And what's this? This is the freshwater marsh. An enormous marsh. Wow. Goblins all over the place. Kobold Castle. Um, Steps of Sand is this. This is Savannah. I think maybe we are taking on these guys on the river here. So we could go just, we want to be an outpost, maybe against the goblins. Now, if I were to place myself here, I have a light aquifer. I actually have an iron and flux-stone here as well. So this might be a good site. So let's go for that. One thing I didn't mention is that I want to improve my embarking skills. So I'll do that. Make a little cut because it's boring and I want to fiddle. And then we'll come back and have a look at the dwarves. All right, that took a little while to be sure. Let's have a look here. We have Bim. He's 88 years old. He has good intuition, good analytical ability, and high social awareness, but his memory is a bit addled. He's our mechanic, you might think. So he has the mechanic labor, but that's not going to take up much of his time, really. So he also is quite good at being our first military dwarf. He's got teacher, leader, and student skills. We have Errol, Ilral, even. Disdains craftwork, is wasteful, values decorum, and not musical and unassertive. So they are our woodcutter. And I figured with most of these dwarves, I want to give them some social skills as well. So we have persuader, negotiator, and appraiser. So this actually is going to be our broker as well. And then we have Lore, the miner. I don't have anybody in this setup with high stamina or anything like that, but so I picked somebody with not poor stamina. Yeah, and not a very social person either. So they're of course a miner, but they also are a musician, consoler, and pacifier. So this is like the glue. Lore is the glue that keeps these dwarfs together. We have our planter, Ustuth, who of course has planting and then some other skills here. Just the general conversationalist, comedian, flatterer, and consoler, and pacifier. A little bit of everything here for Ustooth, Vabok. It's not creative, but it's patient. So I figured, that might make a good miner. But it's also one of our doctors, one of our people with doctor skills here. Just in case, So then we have Risen, the clerk. This is actually our main doctor. He's sickly. He's got low self-esteem, the little poor little cotton sock. He is vain and has poor focus. And he's emotionally obsessive. And he sounds like an interesting character, to be honest. But he has none of these skills whatsoever. He has loads of doctor skills, and he's also our bookkeeper, our record keeper here. And I figured I want to create a medical guild fairly quickly, and I want them to be able to teach each other medical skills, so that's why I gave him a little bit of teacher as well. Finally we have Etur, the carpenter, who has poor empathy and, also emotionally obsessive, disdains perseverance, and is sloppy. So I don't know, it might not be the best choice for a carpenter, but, he has got the carpenter skill and I believe some general skills like that, but I figured he's also probably going to be part of the militia, so he's got novice teacher at least. So that's that. As for items, I figured I would bring some leather, different types, some spider silk, because that could be a need they have and I might not have access to it. I increased the amount of seeds slightly. And then I added a set of copper armor for somebody to have. Brought some gypsum plaster, because, you never know. Added some different types of meat, and fish, and vegetables. And then I removed the wheelbarrow and the step ladders. For animals, I thought dogs, cats, pigs, and sheep and hens. Now the sheep needs grazing, so we'll see if they survive. But it's really nice to have a source of wool in the fort. So the fortress is called Helmscale. Songkotak. Yes. And the group is called the Fortress of Strength. This is all pure randomness, by the way. So let's embark and see what happens. See what I didn't think about. A dwarven outpost. You have arrived after a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond. Your harsh trek is finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all of Ustankkilob. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance. Whether by bolt, plough, or hook, provide for your dwarves. You are expecting a supply caravan just before winter entombs you, but it is spring now. Enough time to delve secure lodgings ere the giant cougars get hungry. A new chapter of dwarven history begins here at this place. Songkotak, Helmscale. Strike the earth. So there was snow here. I guess it's just disappeared, really. But there's still ice on the lake. Little puddles here. We have a bit of a hill here going down. And then up this main level here that we're at, I suppose. We have white sand walls. Nice. And a bit of rootage. There's barley and lettuce and prickleberries and whip vines and fingermelon. There's all sorts of things we can gather around here. And just going up, I think it's just a little bit of a hill here. This is actually a nice area. So. The trees are pecan, oak, chestnut, apple, plum. There's all sorts of fruits here as well. So this is what it looks like. And we're fairly in the middle here, and I think we're gonna keep it that way, because we need a fair bit of room here for our fort. But all of this has been a sort of a precursor to this series, and so I think without doing anything with the actual game, we have dealt with the first episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can find it in your heart. Leave me a like and maybe comment with a question or a insight, or just say hi. And I will see you next time. Bye.